Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Here's the former K-Stater Matthew McCrane to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Ready? 18, Gator.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Abraham. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Lions will take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Let's get it.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Let's get the ball.
From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the Vikings' 46-yard line.
On the ready. 52, Mike 52. It's been a long day for you. Watch tight end. Echo. Jim, go. Safe.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Going up top. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Detroit. K.D. Cannon, 46 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, McCrane set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Ready, break.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down, it's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Hey, Charlie.
On 3rd and 2, Abraham, and he finds Cook. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Down. 70, Indy. Mike, 55.
On first down, Abraham. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Coming up to you. Check 52.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. From the gun, Abraham, and he's able to find Diggs. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Ready, ready. 60 or. Ready, ready.
On first down, Cooper. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Set. 30 base. Let's go. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd down, Abraham. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
5-2's the Mike. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. Orbit. You ain't got nothing.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Off. 52's the mic, boys. 52.
Jackson from the shotgun. Throwing right, and that's complete. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
No. Check that. We want Mike 52 right here. Who that? West. 1-3. Go. Motion. Watch motion.
Jackson on 1st down. He'll get this one to Golladay. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Mike 52. You're not ready.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Josh Reynolds, 40 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Open here, Adam Thielen. 12 yards there, first down, Vikings.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
They'll run on first down. It's Cooper. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Abraham, and it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Cook following the penalty. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. The 30, 20, 10, and into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Come on,
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Haywood! Yo, Cheetah! Ready?
From the gun, Abraham. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A gain of 39 that time. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Check 43.
On 1st down, it's Johnson. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the 27.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this 1st half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On the ground, this is Johnson. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He finds his man, Johnson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. It'll be a 45-yard punt, and couple that with a loss on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Mike 51, Mike Russell. Let's go.
From the 39, Jackson. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run on first down. Johnson, and he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Choose the mic. Watch out. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Slip.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. K.D. Cannon, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, McCrane set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They run it again with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Abraham lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Elsewhere, they have gone to the second half in Carolina. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead, and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They go to Johnson again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Come on, let's go. New Mike 52, Mike 52.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Cannon. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now this one complete on the slant route. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
On 1st and 10, Abraham. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
70, Indy, General West.
To throw again. Abraham. They'll let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Abraham. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Well, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Colby Listenby, 51 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
That's it. Big hit.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 8 yards.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They go play action with Jackson. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Colby Listenby, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Touchdown, Lions. Elliott Fry on for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts.
Next
The extra point up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Get it.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it.
Ready? 60 or